Hi, welcome back. We're going to be talking about color versus black and white imagery. In the beginning, I would just simply choose a picture I really like and convert it into black and white without any significant purpose. Now, as I kept shooting and looking at other photographers' work, I slowly started to understand why they converted a particular image to black and white and why, in fact, it looked better after the conversion. So how do you decide if an image should be in color or black and white? In this video, I'm hoping to address that question a little bit in the hopes that it'll help you think more intentionally about how you present your images. The first point I'd address when we talk about changing color images to black and white would be looking at your contrast. Now, this is the first on my list for good reason. Contrast is essentially the difference between bright and dark areas in one photograph. Now, when an image is stripped off of its color, it has fewer elements in focus that make up its composition or make it interesting. Let me explain with some examples. As you can see, the above picture is a high contrast image, which means that the difference between the light areas and the dark areas of the image is massively different. When an image is made black and white, most of the times, it is to draw the attention of the viewer directly to the subject, which in this case is the baby bump. In the next image you see here, we're trying to bring out the expressions of both the pet owner and the pet. The idea is to draw the attention of the viewer to the finer details, such as the little tongue sticking out of the puppy's mouth, as well as a smile on the mom's face. The second point that I keep in mind while converting my images from color to black and white is texture. A lot of detail in a picture can be brought out with the absence of color. For example, an image can have too much going on if a color palette isn't followed, or there are too many distracting elements in the frame itself. So if there is a detail you want to capture in particular, black and white conversions can capture it very well. I like the picture particularly in black and white because I wanted to draw the viewer's eye to the delicate skin of the newborn. There is no fancy lighting technique used. It's just a very simple image with a lot of texture. The third point you want to think about while converting your images is also the expression, because black and white photos are so stripped down. The more emotion you capture, the more eye-catching the image. In my opinion, it also gives a very timeless feel, which is probably like an idea borrowed from early photographers who shot in black and white film. I mean, this is not to say that one medium is better than the other, but it just goes to say that it's interesting to adopt early techniques used as well. The last and final point I'm going to be sharing with you is what I personally look for when I pick up the camera to shoot. I'm constantly seeking locations or spaces where I have a lot of light play, or I find a way to use artificial light to give me the same kind of light play. So when I talk about light play, I'm talking about patterns between shadow and light. I'm talking about splitting light, halos, rim light around the baby bump. It could be anything that allows me to see a stark difference between the light areas in my image and the dark areas, so as to make my subject really stand out in isolation. I would like to conclude by saying that both these mediums have the power to tell a great story. It's just about applying these choices to the correct context. Everything else is just personal preference. I hope that these pictures that we've shared with you today really help you see how to put theory into practice. Now, a large part of this is covered in our workshops that we do every couple of months, as well as what we have as resources on our app, Mommy Shots Academy, available both on iOS and Android. Now, we look forward to seeing you at the next video where we're going to be sharing a lot more in the photography space. Until then, see you.